Hi, my name is Beals, and I am an alumni of Northwest University, both my bachelor's and my master's degree. My husband Brandon and I met at Northwest. We now pastor a church that we planted, and we have a child at Northwest University as a student. And I'm going to tell you a little bit of my story. So when I graduated high school in 1989, I was planning to go to University of Washington. Super close friend of mine was planning to go to Northwest. She said, why don't you come with me and just see the campus? And so I came with her to Northwest University, and I know now what I didn't know then, which is the voice of the Holy Spirit spoke to me and essentially said, if you don't go here, you're going to make decisions for your life that will alter the whole course of your life. And so on a dime, within a couple of weeks, I was enrolled at Northwest and was a brand new student. You have to remember, I came from a Lutheran church. So a few things happened my first day of school at Northwest. Number one, I went to chapel, which was the most terrifying experience of my life, probably to date still. People were praying out loud, people were singing, people were raising their hands, doing all these things that were very unfamiliar to me and quite scary. So I got up in the middle of chapel and I went to the office and I said, I'm gonna need to have my money back. Turns out I couldn't get my money back, but the administration at Northwest worked with me, made it so I didn't have to go to chapel quite so often, probably knowing God would eventually get a hold of my life. And so one day the topic of discussion in class was the Lordship of Christ. And as the professor is explaining, you don't just pray a prayer at some point in your life. You daily, sometimes hourly, sometimes minute by minute, surrender your life, your future, your goals, your hopes, your dreams to the Lordship of Christ. He gets to make the call. And this, I can remember this like it was yesterday. This utterly floored me. I had never even heard this concept before. And I looked around the classroom and I looked at people who were nodding their heads in agreement and people who were doodling because they've heard this before, and my whole world has just been rocked. Because I think at that moment I realized I don't have a saving relationship with Jesus. What am I doing here? I'm at this Christian school where people are being trained up to be pastors and missionaries, and I don't think I would even go to heaven if I died right now. And so I got up from that class, I went down to my dorm room in Guy 100, and I dug out a Bible, which I wasn't even using at my experience at Northwest, and this is the moment. And I'm an all or nothing person, so I knew at that moment, I'm either all in on this Jesus thing or I'm all out. And I wish I could say that was a fast decision, and maybe it's good that it wasn't, because I really wrestled on that dorm room floor. I wrestled with what it's gonna cost me and what might God ask of me and ask me to do, and would I be willing to do it no matter what it is, because I'm all in. And I also evaluated where my life would go, where my life started, and my mom's family and the choices that all of them had made to that point, and all of the poor directions that led them. And I knew that was my future if I didn't surrender to Jesus. And so right there on my dorm room floor, still makes me emotional. I still remember, just for the first time ever, maybe understanding just a piece of the weight of my sin. Even though I was a good girl and I mostly made good decisions, just the weight of my sin and how much I needed the saving grace of Jesus Christ. Fully surrendered my life to Jesus, made a vow to Jesus right there on my dorm room floor. I will never look back. When I think about the directions my life could have gone, making other choices, not being here as a student, I owe my whole entire everything, who I am today, who my kids are, who I'm married to, what we do in ministry as a couple and as a family is owed to my time here at Northwest. I'm eternally grateful to the professors. I'm eternally grateful to the patience, for the Lutheran girl that was terrified at this place, and the patience to disciple me along the way. And I am determined to pay that forward in investments into Northwest. I totally believe in this place, and we are behind Northwest 100%.